Good morning guys and welcome to this edition of Hikelopedia. 早。
早。
你是导游吗？
Yes.
I'm coming to you this morning from the middle of nowhere in Hsinchu County, Cinsbu Township. The village nearby is called镇西堡, I think, and come to do a trail that I've wanted to do for a long time. In indigenous language, it's called Cinsbu, Ancient Tree Trail B, because there's A and B. Now, I had to drive 2.5 hours to get here, so you can imagine how far up in the mountains it is. We're at an altitude of about 1700, 1800, so it's really pleasant, and really looking forward to this trail. Heard a lot of good things about it, and there's a lot of giant trees to see, so let's go. When I arrived at the trailhead this morning, I was thinking that it was going to be a nice quiet day, but then I was just relieving myself before starting, and about 5 buses turned up with a big group of hikers, so it seems like I'm going to have some company. I say this quite a lot, but this trail is just so unspoilt. It kind of feels like you're on the set of Jurassic Park. Just hope there's no dinosaurs around here. The weather is just perfect today, although it's like 30 degrees and really muggy down on the plains where we live. Up here it's like around 19, 18 degrees, and it's nice and cool, even though I'm sweating a lot. That's just because I'm unfit, but it's such a pleasant day to hike. Now, you know how much I talk about logging in my videos because it's a really integral part of Taiwan's recent history, but this area was never logged as badly as other areas. That's because the local tribes here, the Cinsbu, I don't know how to say it, Cinsbu or something like that, and the Sima or Smangus tribes, apparently, according to this sign, they joined together and instigated a one life for every tree campaign in order to protect their forests. So that means if somebody chopped a tree down, then they would kill the person who did it. So apparently that's how the giant cypress trees of this area remained intact. A gruesome form of environmental protection. So as you know, this area of Taiwan is inhabited by the Taiyazu in Chinese, or the Atayal people in English. And the name, I'm going to butcher this, Chinese is Zhenxibao, and The Atayal word is spelled Cinsbu. I'm going to say it's Cinsbu, but I have no idea if that's terrible or not. But anyway, that word, or the name for this area, has a very long meaning. I'm going to read this because there's no way I can remember it. So Cinsbu means, as you sleep soundly in the early morn, the sun's bright rays cover the land and stay till dusk. With warm days and cold nights, this is a place free of pestilence where crops grow in abundance. Now when you describe a place like that, it's no wonder that people wanted to live here. But it's amazing that one small word can have such a elaborate meaning. But yeah, it's pretty nice. I'm just at one of the rest areas now before we go on the main tree loop. All this mossy forest kind of reminds me of Peninsular Malaysia when you do the higher peaks, except without the mud, thankfully. This is the first one. It's not that big compared to the trees I've seen in the past, but it's looks very healthy. A lot of the shanmu or the holy trees that you see are kind of like hollow but still alive and don't have many leaves, but this one, wow, it's beautiful. It's so red as well, the colour of it. Wow. This is just the first one and I'm already in awe. It's huge! When you thought the first one was amazing, check out the second one. It's actually 3 trees, I think, in one, but the middle one is all split into 3 trunks. And whew, we're at the third one now, and this one is called Man Becomes Monkey. It's kind of interesting. Okay, so number 4 here is Wenmian, which means facial tattoo, which is a traditional thing that the Atayal people used to do years ago, before the Japanese outlawed it. Never seen so many ginormous trees. So cool. I always can't help but think what Taiwan was like a couple of 100 years ago when these giants were all over the island. It must have been an amazing sight, although I guess Taiwan was a bit more dangerous back then, so wouldn't have been easy to come and see them. It's not very often that I'm lost for words, but this place is amazing. Wow, check this out, a fallen giant, so big, the roots, I wonder how long ago that fell down. Almost at the end of the loop, there's two more. This one is person changes into eagle, and it's got a very interesting orifice in the trunk, but again it's huge and looks very healthy. Alright, number 14. I think that's the last one, although I've already said that twice now. But it's so beautiful. Although by the time you get to the end of the loop, you know what people are like. They get bored quickly. Oh, another tree. Yeah, I guess I'm a bit like that now, but it's still amazing circuit and definitely worth the never-ending drive or bus journey to get here. And that's definitely the end of it, because we're back at the beginning of the loop where it splits into two. But yeah, absolutely amazingly beautiful. But I would suggest, if you do come here, you got to try and find a day when the weather's nice, because it enhances the experience. Alright, we're done. Around 7.5k, 3.5 hours. A really pleasant, nice hike. Nothing difficult about it at all. Although, I guess if it was wet then it would be a bit more troublesome, but I wouldn't come here in the wet weather anyway, because I don't think it would be an enjoyable experience. And honestly, the most difficult part about today was driving here. It's like 2.5 hours from Hsinchu, all mountain roads. The last 5 or 10k, very dodgy. But yeah, that's the only tough part, because the trail is a delight and it's really worth it. So if you have your own vehicle and you've never done this trail before, then you should come. Or if you don't feel like driving, you can charter a bus with some friends and split the cost, and I think it would be quite reasonable. I'm up in the hills. I'm going to go and have a little explore on the way down, see what I can find. Hopefully something to eat as well. Alright guys, I've come into Cinsbu village and to check out this building here. This is the church. It's quite an interesting building. In case you didn't know, most of the indigenous people in Taiwan are Christians. That's because when Taiwan opened up to foreigners, the first people who came were of course the missionaries, and they spent a lot of times up in the mountains where the people were kind of more receptive to foreigners, and so over time the indigenous people were converted to Christianity, and so that makes for some pretty interesting sights when you're driving through the middle of the mountains and you see Christmas trees and Christmas decorations in the villages. It's kind of strange and a bit nostalgic, as it reminds you of home. Yeah, so this is the Church of Cinsbu tribe, and it is quite special. It's built with rocks from the Shoalun River and marble from Hualien, and it took 10 years to complete, and it was completed in 1947. It's definitely a very unique structure, quite pretty in an unusual way. I eventually found a place, but it's miles away from where I was hiking. But driving down, I couldn't really see any places that were open because it's Monday. Most places would only be open at the weekends, but I found a place, so I'm getting just some fried rice. Good looking fried rice here. I'm so hungry. It's good. It's your standard fried rice in Taiwan. I think they all go to the same school because it always tastes exactly the same wherever you eat it. It's good. That was really good. Nice place. Friendly people. 精彩小吃 and 槟榔, but I'm not in the mood for any beet or not. Anyway guys, that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed this little trip out into the mountains of Hsinchu and to see some lovely giant cypress trees. I certainly did. If you did, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, support the channel, the usual. Thanks down below, coffee, memberships, and that's it. Still got a long way to drive back, so I better get going. Take it easy, see you next time, over and out.